What's up, everybody? We are back. It is me, Justin Murray, owner, founder, and operator of Str8 Up Productions, here to help you with all things music. And today is part 2 of the 3-part series on equipment purchase. All right. So if you did not catch week 1's video, please go back and check that out. I talked about some of the important things to look out for when purchasing your equipment, what we need from those that finance the equipment that we are purchasing. All right, some different things to look for, and we worked with a smaller budget. So let's get it going. Today we are working with a $5,000 budget. Okay, and so what that means is we can either buy more stuff or buy newer stuff, right? And so I'm always going to show you everything, right? You got a budget to buy everything: sound, instruments, microphones, cables, all that good stuff with the budget that we are allotted. Okay. Now, through us, going through everything, I'm going to show you that you can take this money. If you get to take us through everything. All right. Now, if you're privileged enough to be able to take this budget and apply it towards one thing or a couple things, right, that's amazing. Sometimes we don't always get that. All right. So if you're able to apply $5,000 to the band and just the instruments, or just to sound equipment, or just to speakers, or whatever the case may be, beautiful, right? We don't always get that luxury, but that's what it is. All right. So are you ready? I'm ready. Let's dive in. All right, so my last video, I talked quite a bit. My apologies for those who sat through it. I thank you for those who did make it through to the end. I appreciate you greatly. So I hope to talk less, all right, and just kind of guide you through what I did. So what I did is I went ahead and just assembled a cart, okay, of some things, and I will talk you through what I purchased and why. Now, as you know from my last video, I will be using Guitar Center. I'm not saying that it's the best place to go. You can definitely check out Sweetwater, Sam Ash, all those other places, right? This is just what I'll be using for today, all right? So I'm going to start here just because the site was being a little weird, wouldn't let me add it, but add it to the cart. So here is a cymbal pack, okay? As you remember from the last video, bundling is the way to go. I don't care what your budget is. Bundle, 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 bundle. And for these music directors and whatever the case may be, if you are able to get everything that's necessary under budget, it's going to look very good for you, all right? Bundling is the way to save, all right? So in this set, we have a 20-inch ride, all right? 2 crashes, I do believe it's a 16 and an 18, and a pair of hi-hats, all right? Everything you need cymbal-wise for a kit. More than enough, honestly. We love the luxury, right, as drummers, of having multiple crashes, and as you add on, you might get splashes and stacks and do all that extra cool stuff. It's great, but this will get you started. Now, again, this is not what I'm saying is the best of the best or the best way to package it. This is just what I did for the purposes of today's video. Okay, there are definitely better models for Sabian cymbals. This is XSR. They have HHX, they have HH, they have AAX, Artisan, all kind of stuff, right? The higher you go, the more expensive it gets. We don't have to talk about it. I'm not saying, although I'm a Sabian fan, I'm not saying that's the best way to go. Zildjian is out there, Soultone is out there, Stag is out there. Who else is out there? Meinl is out there. Smyrna and all these others. It's plenty of places to go get your cymbals. This is just what I did for you today. All right. So we already started out with about $630 with this guy. Now we're going to talk about the cymbal pack a little more later and just talk about, a way that you may be able to get some money back. All right. Let's look at the rest of this cart here. Boom, boom, boom. So we started with cymbals just because it wouldn't let me add it to the cart. Let's go from the bottom and work our way up. So again, we started with sound, as I often do, right? Again, we don't want to cut corners here. We don't want to necessarily go used for the sake of not knowing all the inner workings of what may be wrong, right? Especially if you have to get items shipped. So we went with the same pack, right? 12-inch mains. If you don't know why I recommend 12-inch to start with, again, go back and check that other video. all right? And it comes with speaker poles. One thing I think I failed to mention in the last video is that these also come with the correct power cables, right? Doesn't come with 1/4 inch or XLR cables, but it does come with the power cable, so that's something that you don't have to purchase, all right? Next, we did a 2-pack Nady system last time. Here we have 8 Voco Pro mics. Now, I don't care if this is a church, if this is a live music establishment, if this is a school, 8 mics should get you by, okay? Now, if there's one area for discrepancy here or disagreement, these are all dynamic handheld mics, okay? It's best, I feel, to be a little diverse. So that means having a couple wireless mics, a couple handheld wireless, a couple wired mics like a SM58 or something like that. Maybe a couple condenser mics if you have to deal with the choir, things like that. This is just what I did for today. So yes, you can definitely take this, and this is $729. There's a 2-pack version of this. Even if you want to use the 2-pack Nady system from last time, and then if you just want to take this as example, this $700 budget, and spend that on a couple of different types of microphones, right? Get you some handheld, whether it be digital reference or whatever you may have to go get. Sure, SM58s, they're about $100 a piece. Get you a couple of those for background singers, horns, whatever the case may be. Get you a couple of condenser mics, whether those be Nady as well, or some Shures, some AKG, or whatever the case may be, Sterling, whatever you decide to go get, so that way you can handle choir, you can handle horns, you can handle, you know, more background singers, whatever the case may be. Background singers can use handheld mics too, but that just depends on what you want your stage to look like, okay? Next, I went over to keyboards. Now, we end up with Casio again, all right? Am I saying it's the best thing out there? I am not, all right? I got a used Privia PX5 88 keyboard. Now, why am I going here? A, 88 keys. B, you can layer. C, it's lightweight. And D, it's affordable. Okay, this is used for $580. Brand new, this is $1,000. Okay, now, he did not pay me to say this. He doesn't even know I'm about to mention his name. All right. If you do not know who Levi 2 King is, you need to find out. He has really, especially if you're playing gospel, pop, R&B, stuff like that, he has really made it easy for you. He has taken the liberty of doing a lot of the legwork and has created some really awesome patches for this board. Piano, Rhodes, synths, strings, pads, bells, MKS20 sounds, all that good stuff. Right there on his website, you can put it right on the thumb drive, stick it into the board, and load up banks worth of patches. Pianos, organs, clavs, all kinds of stuff, right? So imagine getting that for $580. I don't see a loser, okay? Now, this is used, all right? This is used, which means that if you decide to, you know, if you find this and you decide to go use, you gotta move fast, at least get it on layaway or something. But again, brand new, it's $1,000. You have a $5,000 budget. You do the math, you win, okay? Now, while we're talking about keyboards, let's say you don't have to get everything. Let's say your sound is already taken care of. Well, let's do some math real quick. That's $650, all right? I'm pulling out my calendar. I'm pulling out my calculator. I do that all the time. Pray for me. $650 plus $730. That's almost $1,400 that you can add to your keyboard budget if you have to, or if you choose to. What does that mean? If you don't like Casio, that's fine, no judgment. You have, let's just even add this Casio budget now. You have nearly $2,000 now. What does that mean? You can get a used Roland FA08. You can get a used Motif ES somewhere probably. You can get a used Chord Chrome, used Chord Cross. You can get, sometimes even new, full 88 keys for about $2,000, right? You can get a Mod X, right? 88 key Mod X, Yamaha Mod X. You can get that. You get a Gemini DS88. You have that budget now if your sound stuff is taken care of. All right? Let's keep it going. Drums. Drums. So, again, I went used just so we could kind of get some more stuff. As you can see up here, we got hardware, throwing some stuff that we did not look at last time, all right? PDP by DW Concept Series. Let's enlarge this guy. All right, so we can take a look at what we got. So, first of all, I feel like this color is killing. Has nothing to do with the quality or anything. It's just something that draws me to it, okay? So, we have 10, 12, 14, 16, and a kick drum, okay? 4, 6, 50. That is a steal. Now, as I'm doing this video, you get to watch me because I realized that there's no snare drum included. We need that, so let's go look at snare drums. All right. Standard size for a snare drum is 14 inches. All right, 14-inch diameter. And we generally want something that's at least 5 inches. You see some stuff that's 5.5, 6 is getting deep, and we like some deep snares that we can tune and do some things with it, okay? So we don't have to necessarily match brands, right? We don't have to get caught up in that. For the sake of time, Pearl is good. Let's just do that. See if it'll let me add it, okay? So we have, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do that. That's a 12-inch snare. Please forgive me. Where's the one I saw up here? Let's do that. Here we go. 150. All right. 14 by 6.5. Steel snare. Sounds good. Sounds great. Tune it up how you like it. All right. Let's see if it'll let me add it to the cart. If not, we'll have to keep 150. See? And the cart failed. So we'll keep 150 in the back of our minds. Cool? So, PDP Concept Series, I do believe this is a Concept Maple, which is excellent, right? PDP is made by DW. For those who know, DW is one of the top drum manufacturers in business right now. So they make this kit, and you're getting a nice kit, wood hoops, big sound for $650. All right. Same rules apply with the keyboard. Let's say if your keyboard situation is cool, your sound situation is cool, and we have, $1,500, $2,000 to spend on a drum kit. Well, maybe you can get this guy new. It runs about $1,000 new. You can even get something else. You can get you a DW. You can get you a Yamaha Tour Custom or something like that if you choose to. You can even add on, get you a Mapex Armory or 6-piece and get you an 8-inch tom to go with it or do whatever if you choose to. Here's the thing. If you don't want to, saving the money is always on the table. Cool? Don't feel like you have to use and exhaust the entire $5,000 budget. If you're good, you're good. It looks good on you if you're able to get what you need and have money to give back. Okay? So, you can either get something nicer or just not spend it. Okay? Let's keep going. So, hardware pack. We need that. We need drum hardware, all right? So I went ahead with this pack. It comes with the snare drum, kick drum, hi-hat stand that comes with the clutch, very important, and 2 boom cymbal stands. Now, the main reason I went with the Yamaha, I'm also a fan of Tama hardware, Mapex hardware. The main reason I did this is because you can get some serious height out of the cymbal stands, and they're pretty durable. They're pretty durable. You want durability. Sometimes PDP, that can't always handle it. Some Tama stuff, depending on what you decide to get. Some Pearl stuff, especially the cheaper stuff, is not always the most durable. Drummers, we all have been there to where we're using our hi-hat and the pole kind of goes through, and we have this huge gap in our hi-hat cymbals, right? Got to keep the clutch kind of loosens up on us. We got to keep tightening it up. I have rarely experienced that with Yamaha hardware. And depending on how you may need to set up your cymbals to, be comfortable or do whatever you may have to do, you can have some serious versatility here with their boom stands. So that's why I went with it. You don't have to. God be praised. So let's continue. Drum throne, gotta have it. PDP by DW. Comfortable padding here, thick padding. Now, let's enlarge this so you see what I'm talking about here. This is a disclaimer. All right, if you get this drum throne, you will have to use this memory lock, okay? Make sure you have a drum key, which you should have with one of these. If you don't, drum keys are super inexpensive. The cheapest one I've ever seen is like $2. So super expensive. Most drummers have drum keys. I have one on my keychain. If you're a drummer, you don't have a drum key, you are behind, sir. You are behind, ma'am. Get you a drum key, okay? You will have to use that drum key to tighten this memory lock to keep it in place, all right? So don't just use this guy here and think that you're okay. Lock in that memory lock or else you will slide down. Just a disclaimer, don't say I didn't tell you, okay? All right, let's keep it going. Hopefully y'all are still with me. All right, we got 2 more Harbinger 12-inch speakers for the sake of stage monitors. All right, so we got our front of house down here, right? Down here on the poles. All right, get those guys nice and up off the floor. Then you have these guys for your on-stage sound, for your singer, for your band, for your background singers. Just a little bit of extra sound support, okay? And it'll also kind of help with some mic feedback possibly, because if you, like with our $1,500 budget that we have, we only had these guys, which means that you're forced to be in front of everything, and depending on how you operate, mics can kind of feedback if you're not standing in the right spot and all that kind of stuff. This guy will help you. You don't have to necessarily be in front of everything. You kind of be behind the live sound. These guys will sit on the floor, so you're not having direct interaction between the mic and the speaker, okay? So a little help there, all right? Next, we have our mixing board, okay? So, 24 channels. That's what they say. It don't quite work like that. I'm not gonna get into that on this video. I do plan on doing a video on live sound, so maybe we'll talk about what some of these companies really mean versus like why don't we see 24 inputs. We'll talk about that later. All right, this does say open box. You can find this for about this price though. I don't think it's too much more than $400 new. Again, Guitar Center does have physical locations, so there may be an opportunity if you go in store that you find a good deal on an open box and it's not new and it's just somebody, you know, bought it and returned it. That's all it really means. Not damaged, not broken, not, you know, cracked up. It's just open box, okay? So here's why it's good. I see what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 mic inputs, okay? That's enough to cover all the mics. Remember, we just got 8 mics, right? Cover all of those and still have 2 left over. Now, you may not have to use all 8 mics. That's fine, okay? You can have them there, or let's say you only need 4. Beautiful. 4 mics. Now you have 6 inputs to use for other things, right? We have a keyboardist now. We have all those other things, so they need space on this board too, okay? Now, we have 8, then we have 1, 2, these guys here are channels as well, all right? So your keyboard player can plug in here. If a bassist comes or whatever, they can plug into the board and do that as well, all right? This is nice because remember I showed you that we have 2 extra speakers for monitors now on the stage, and we have some aux sends here that are pre and post. So that means you can send a separate mix to those stage monitors, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to match the house. We have more variety in our EQ to make sure that we can clean up and kind of polish the signal that we're getting, gain, compression, all that good stuff. Cool, some subgroups, send it to some different places if you want to. Let's say you add on a sub or you add on something else. You can use these to kind of control that as well, make some subgroups and control everything all at once. So you got a little bit more variety. And we have effects. We love that. So we can put some verb, we can put some delay if we so choose. Let's be careful, all right? Don't make a small dining hall sound like we're at Busch Stadium or something like that. But we can play around with some effects and kind of help embellish the sound that we're experiencing even the more, and we got a bang for our buck. Thank you, Harbinger, for $350. I don't see a loser. All right, let's continue. I think we're done. Are we done with the Guitar Center? As you guys may remember from my last video, I'll be using Guitar Center and Amazon because Amazon's a great place to get some of those other odd and end items, okay? So we have $3,830 plus the $150. So let me do my math here. 3,830 plus the $150, remember, from the snare. All right, plus the, I think it was $629 from the cymbals. So we're at $4,609. Okay, not bad. Not bad. All right. Let's look at what we did here in Amazon. Oh, there's one thing I don't think it put on there, unless I skipped it. Okay, it didn't add this either. One of the things I looked at, which we can look at now that we're done with this, is this guy. I'll type it in so we can see it. Sterling Headphone Amp. Okay? Now, this is for your band. These are for your musicians, okay? Here's why I like it. First of all, if you guys follow me on Facebook or see any of my live stream stuff, you will notice that my audio is very clean. I run through an iRig, out of this into an iRig into any one of my devices, whether it be my iPad or one of my iPhones or whatever the case may be. So you get nice, pristine, clear, crisp audio, okay? 4 channels, all right? So that means, let's say you have like main keys, aux, bass, drums. They can all be coming out of this, and you don't have to buy 4 individual headphone amps, right? And if you remember from earlier, that mixer that we have has 4 aux ins. So that means that while you can send one aux in to monitors, you can send another mix here, okay? Now, here's the downfall with stuff like this. When you see like 4 channels and stuff like that, that means that everybody who plugs into this generally has to share one mix, the same mix, right? You see that like with the HP4 by Personas, right? 4 outputs, you know, 4 headphone outs here, and everybody has to share the same mix. What I love about the Sterling Headphone Amp is they actually have 2 mix options, right? So you guys can, the band can decide on 2 separate mixes if they want to, maybe one with vocals, one without, or one where things are, you know, slightly different. I get more, whatever, more keys in this one, or I get more lead vocal in that one, or whatever. So you can have 2 mix, and you can use this 2 mixes, and you can use this little toggle switch to adjust between mixes. Or like for somebody like me, in my case, sometimes what I'll do is I'll have like my main mix for what I'm hearing in my headphones mix a certain way in A, and then my live stream mix in B, and I'll just use a different one to toggle down to B and set a different mix for my live stream than what I'm actually hearing in my mix. So I know live streaming is popular. We like to go live and kind of showcase our services, our events, all that good stuff. That's another use of this. And although we see the 1/8 inch jack down here, on the back of it, we have 1/4 inch jacks. Okay? So you can send a mix into A, mix into B, and be good to go. Cool? Or you can do a stereo mix. All right? So it's really cool. And for $70. Sometimes it's $90, but still I don't see a loser. Hopefully you don't see yourself as losing if you decide to get this. Cool? So that's an extra $70. All right? We're at $46.79. Okay? Getting a little close to budget, but I think we're okay if I remember my math. All right? All right, so we added that. Okay, so coming in here, let's start from the bottom here, okay? Got our keyboard stand bundle, right? Keyboard stand, bench, sustain pedal, all right? So we got that locked in. Let me backtrack, So I use Amazon because it's good for the odd and end stuff, right? Notice over here, let's go back and pull up our cart here. Jesus, help me out. Okay. So, as you notice, no power strips, no surge protectors, no power adapters, no mic cables, except for the ones that came with the headphone system here. I'm sorry, the mic system here. No instrument cables for the keyboard, anything like that, right? I can get that stuff for a decent price at Amazon, okay? So we got the keyboard stuff taken care of. XLR pack, why did I get this? You're gonna need this to connect your speakers, okay? From the board to the speakers and from the speakers to each other. You're gonna need some XLR cables, all right? Now, some of these aux may use 1/4 inch, so instead of getting a 6 pack, you may only need 4 or whatever. You can get some more here. All right, so I got a 6 pack of 25-foot cables for $65. That is a steal. And they're color coded, which kind of helps, all right? Then here I have a 6 pack of 10-foot 1/4 inch cables, all right? So you're gonna need that for the keyboard. You're gonna need that to connect the board to that headphone amp that we talked about, probably from the board to those stage monitors as well, because most stage monitors, most aux sends are 1/4 inch out, okay? So you're gonna need that. Same power from last time. Our mic stands. Now, why did I come this route? Because everything with microphones is usually sold separately, all right? Especially if you're getting handheld mics. If you're getting a dynamic mic like or a wired mic that's handheld like a 58 or something like that, they can sometimes include a mic clip, but mic stands don't come with mic clips usually, and microphones sometimes do not come with mic clips, especially the wireless handheld ones. This guy, you get 6 boom stands with mic clips for $121, all right? Now, mic clips can range from anywhere from like $30 to like $100. Mic stands, I'm sorry, can range anywhere from like $30, $40 to like $90, $100, right? So if you got, let's just stick on the low end, and I'll continue to do my math. $40 times 6, we're already at $240, right? Plus mic clips, which usually run roughly $6 a pop. So you're looking at another $60. That's $300. Just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. But here we go with 6 boom stands and mic clips for $121. I don't see a loser, people. Okay? Now, with that, we are, let me go back to my handy dandy calculator. All right, let's build it back up. So we had 46.79 was our last number. All right, so let's do $88, 65, 40. Well, let's do 39, 29, 121. Okay, so we're a little over, all right, which is why I left. I'm gonna leave this as an option. So we got headphone amps. We need headphones for headphone amps. Now, musicians sometimes nowadays have their own headphones, whether it be over the ear or the inner ear monitors or whatever, especially if they're full-time gigging musicians, they're gonna have headphones. So you can probably count on them to bring them. This is nice if you can swing a few extra bucks to just have some there that they can use, but not necessary. Okay, now, again, where we can shave some coins off is if we don't need as many XLR cables, right? I just did a 6 pack, and with the cymbal, right, we only have 2 cymbal stands, but the pack that we purchased comes with 2 crash cymbals, right? And a total of 3 cymbals. So you can sell one of those cymbals back and get some money back, right? It's a way to kind of offset that, because we're only over budget by $21. That's it, okay? So just a touch over, but that's how you can offset that. And if you go to Guitar Center, you can do that right in store. You can purchase it and sell it right back. Get the most bang for your buck because you haven't used it, hasn't been played on, no keyhole damage, anything like that, no water spills. So it's in pristine condition so you can get the most bang back for your buck. And remember, this is just what I did, right? You don't have to get the cymbal pack that I did. You can piece it together however you want to, okay? Cool? So, I know I was kind of moving kind of fast. I didn't want to talk up all your time again. But thank you guys for sticking around and watching this. Hopefully this video helped you. Again, we're learning how to get the most bang for our buck when purchasing equipment for our church, our establishment, our school, whatever the case may be. It can be daunting, it can be frustrating, but hopefully this gave you some tips about how to approach this and what companies that you can use, some brands you can use, some way to kind of utilize some different things to make it happen. Cool? All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button, and if you have not, get you some Str8 Up merch, all right? Head right over to three of those, www.str8upproductions.com. Click that merch tag, all right? Get you some merch and we will get it to you, all right? We got hoodies, hats, bracelets, t-shirts, all that kind of stuff. Coffee mugs, keychains, all right? It's easy to rep Str8 Up Productions, all right? So, share with a friend. Happy shopping. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time.